It's going to be a busy day at the orangutan jungle school. Valentino and two buddies are moving up to a new group. And he's got a bit of work to do on his table manners. After a week apart, baby Clarita has a chance to reunite with her mother. But will Clara accept her infant back? And some lucky orangutans on the pre-release islands are selected to return to the wild. But during their capture, all hell breaks loose when an aggressive male turns on the staff. In a remote corner of Indonesia, on the island of Borneo, where a river snakes through dense rainforest, dawn reveals the orangutan jungle school compound. All seems silent at this early hour. But appearances can be deceiving. The jungle surrounding Lanting is thick with thieves. Every morning, troops of long-tailed macaques commence their raids. Adults and juveniles patrol the perimeter. And when the coast is clear, the robbers pounce. These monkeys know that orangutans drop food from their sleeping cages during the night. So, underneath, the pickings are plentiful. Other scoundrels approach from above. And steal the orangutans' food from right under their noses. Soon things ramp up for the school day. Sleeping cages are opened, and the pupils spill out, eager to start their day. The Group 1 kids head towards their outdoor classroom. But this morning, 3 of their classmates have been held back. This is a big day for Valentino, Madara, and Utris. These 3 little males are graduating. They're moving up to Group 2. But for now, all the boys know is that they're being left behind. And they're not happy. Class clown Valentino, with his distinctive white belly stripe, seems annoyed to be left out. But when their babysitter finally arrives, the bravado vanishes. All 3 know something's up. They support each other during this scary break from routine, as their caretaker leads them to a new forest school group. Madara and Utris provide maximum comfort for each other, while clingy Valentino insists on being carried. These three little males have been classmates since Valentino was found alone in a forest as a baby over 2 years ago. And Utris and Madara were rescued around the same time from being kept as illegal pets. Now, the Triple Trouble take the next stage of their journey together. But there's a long road ahead, and success is by no means guaranteed. Back at base, in a small isolation cage outside the clinic, life is also about to change for Clara. This new mother was brought back from one of the pre-release islands yesterday. After giving birth just 2 weeks ago, her infant, Clarita, was kidnapped by a curious male orangutan. Quick action by the local staff saved the infant from harm, and she was brought back to the nursery. Now, Clara has a chance to reunite with her baby. But after several days apart, there's a real danger that Clara could reject her, which means Clarita would grow up as an orphan. Both mother and infant are suffering from a painful rash caused by sap from one of the rainforest trees. Clara recognizes her baby instantly. But the staff won't take any chances. They must be sure before they allow the precious infant back into her mother's arms.
Ini anakmu, Clara. Ini Clara.
Clara's gentle response prompts the decision to risk the moment of truth. It can't be too soon for the impatient mother. This is a heart-stopping moment for everyone.
Clara. Ini adiknya.
Sayang.
All Clara wants to do is hold her baby close.
Udah, aku nih ambil. Sudah ya?
Infant orangutans spend 24 hours a day holding tight to mum for at least the first 4 months. So this separation must have been deeply distressing for both Clara and her baby. But there's one more hurdle. Can Clara still produce milk? And will tiny Clarita still be able to suckle? It takes an anxious few minutes, But then Clarita's cries stop for the best of reasons, as she takes her fill of the ultimate comfort food. These two can now heal from their ordeal together. There's one orangutan left behind from jungle school today, and he's not happy. 4-year-old Lanting cut his hand on a sharp branch in his Group 3 class yesterday, and this morning he has an appointment at the medical centre. Like any kid on a visit to the doctor, Lanting seems to know what's in store for him. Shots. Like human children, orangutans can be accident-prone. Lanting gets a light anesthetic, so he's calm during the procedure. An injury like this in the wild would probably heal on its own. But here, even a small cut is treated with an antibiotic to prevent infection. All these orphans are considered too precious to risk any threat to their future. Lanting receives a few stitches, and he'll be watched closely over the next few days to ensure he's out of the woods. One kilometre up the road from the main compound, the nursery school infants are ready for their day. In the wild, each infant orangutan would have its mother's full attention. So 16 demanding orphans make for mornings of controlled chaos. Hundreds of orphaned orangutans have passed through this old house in the 18 years since the project began. That's a lot of wear and tear. As the nursery group heads out for the day, little do they know they'll soon be leaving this crowded old building for good. They're moving to a new home. In a lush forest clearing 3 kilometres west of the main compound, a purpose-built baby house is almost finished, including a boardwalk to their outdoor classroom. It won't be long before all 16 preschoolers are exploring this jungle paradise. Back at Forest Group 2, it's morning milk time, with 3 new mouths to feed. Madara, Utris, and Valentino have arrived. Madara receives his share enthusiastically, while Utris keeps his distance. At 2 years old, these youngsters would all still be suckling from their mums in the wild. But this soy milk formula is the next best substitute. Madara appears fascinated with his new friend Lala's technique. Valentino initially hangs back, then decides to make a grand entrance. Although his manners might not make him any friends. Utris has kept apart from his new classmates so far. A coconut might help him feel at home. But as a Group 2 student, he has to figure out how to open it on his own. Is anyone available to help? Meryl is always ready to lend a hand. But she seems to think the new kid in class should share. Utris gives up, and Meryl sets about opening her prize. She looks for a stick to help. And discovers tools can be dangerous. While Utris protects another coconut from a monkey thief, down below, Valentino has figured out how to access his coconut. This is real progress for him, as back when he was in Group 1, he asked his babysitter for help. Now, Mumu tries out his special stare, in the vain hope that Valentino will share. Not a chance. With all the young students out in their jungle classrooms, inside the clinic, an important meeting is underway. The vet team is assessing the orangutans living on the pre-release islands, deciding which ones are ready for release into the wild. This is the ultimate goal for every student, and this report is critical for all 126 eligible candidates. Not even sharp teeth will distract Vet Argus from the task at hand. Munyan the civet has made himself at home in the clinic since being rescued from an illegal wildlife market. He was malnourished, but the vet's toe isn't quite what he needs. The team makes its final selection. 18 orangutans have been chosen. And now the real challenge begins. Just a couple of kilometers east of Nyaru Menteng, the Rungan River flows through jungle, creating what are known as the pre-release islands. This is the last stage of jungle school, home to the 18 candidates who've been chosen to graduate and move to a protected wilderness. But capturing them, to move them off the island, is a complex operation. The vets rendezvous with the Teknisi, who are responsible for the island orangutans. And a final briefing ensures everyone is clear on who the candidates are. But this isn't going to be easy. Those chosen have all shown they've got what it takes to live independently in the semi-wild environment of the pre-release islands. But the wilder they are, the more challenging they will be to capture. Tranquilizing darts are prepared. This is the safest way to capture near-adult orangutans, both for the apes and the team. But first, they have to find them. The team heads for Kaja Island. There are over 40 orangutans living here, which is maximum capacity, and much more crowded than an orangutan would experience in the wild. But today, the treetops and riverbank seem strangely quiet. The call for fruit usually triggers a response. Jungle school graduates never forget it. A male is first to appear. And even at this distance, the Technisi guys know their charges so well, they instantly recognize Bobon. But unfortunately, he's not on the list. Nor are any of the others who respond. But just as they start to move on, someone else comes to investigate the commotion. It's 15-year-old Rebecca, and she is a candidate. The specialist sniper takes aim. But Rebecca is off. Back at Nyaru Menteng, there are others who will benefit from Rebecca's capture. After 12 years at Orangutan Jungle School, 15-year-old Tenker is now too big for class. But he can't move to the pre-release islands until space becomes available. In the meantime, it's not safe for the younger orphans or the staff to interact with adult orangutans, even if they've been through school. It's a constant burden for the staff here, finding room for the older orangutans who are ready to move on. Tenker's wait is frustrating, but at least he has a chance of freedom in his future. Hercules was already 12 when he was brought to Nyaru Menteng. He had been rescued from a cage so small it left his hands and feet crippled. Unable to climb and blind in one eye, Hercules has no hope of surviving in the wild. He'll always be dependent on the care and loving attention he gets in this extraordinary facility. The staff here have become experts at keeping these highly intelligent apes entertained in their cages. Every day, the Enrichment team invents new puzzles to challenge and intrigue their charges, based on the one thing guaranteed to keep an orangutan's attention: food. The specially prepared puzzles roll out to all the waiting orangutans. Hanging wire baskets outside the cages encourages dexterity. and treats of honey have to be found by exploring with fingers. Hercules gets his own basket to encourage him to use his deformed fingers. Some orangutans waiting for island release share a larger enclosure, and they get a different challenge. This may seem like teasing, and the loud kiss squeaks of frustration show some of these students agree. But when it's their turn for release, they'll have to feed themselves while hanging precariously high in the forest, where food will often be difficult to reach. Tenker has to get his treats out without dropping the barrel. He's dexterous, but even the smartest orangutans fail sometimes. Fortunately, this place is all about second chances. Teenage girl pals, Tulia and Zalipa, keep each other company while they wait for their transfer to a pre-release island. They've found their own way to amuse themselves. Cage fishing. Zalipa's determined the macaques won't get all the leftovers today. Encouraged by her roommate's success, 12-year-old Tulia decides she can improve on the simple stick. She carefully lowers a piece of string that she's extracted from one of her nesting sacs. It's fairly effective, but not as accurate as she'd like. So, she creates a loop in the string. It's a remarkable display of tool use. Zalipa still prefers her stick. But Tulia demonstrates her catch wasn't a fluke by doing it again. Over at the nursery school, the infants are at the very start of their journey that will one day lead to the pre-release islands. Boomy is in the Littlies class, where he and his classmate Rona develop the confidence to learn and explore. Mema prefers cuddles from her babysitter, while Genios and Uchup comfort each other. Kalanis is fine on his own. Tiny Uchup is almost the same age as 2-year-old Genios. They started school only 10 days apart, and they've been best buddies ever since. Jackie considerately keeps her distance for her bathroom break. As with all primates, play and socialization are an important part of the timetable for these toddler apes. But they also need to start learning about all the different food sources in the forest. And Mema's babysitter, Kumi, spies a perfect opportunity. Termites and ants are an important protein source for orangutans, especially when other foods are scarce. But Mema is clearly not convinced. In the wild, she would witness her mother eat them, and then copy. But that's a step too far for babysitter Kumi, dedicated as she is. She has another plan for her little student. Ant eggs are an orangutan delicacy. Mema is keen to learn and pays close attention to the secrets inside a rotten log. This is much less scary. And then she knows just what to do. She eats the eggs. But she's not yet a fan of the ants. Back on Kaja Island, the capture team is still in pursuit of Rebecca, one of the candidates for wild release. She's high in the trees, but curious. At last, the marksman has a clear shot. Before the sedative kicks in, the team hopes a juicy watermelon will encourage Rebecca down to ground level. They don't want her to fall. She's tempted. But she seems to know something's up. And so she climbs higher. The treetops are usually the safest place for wild orangutans. But not for an orangutan who's been sedated. It will be an anxious wait while the drug takes full effect. At Little's class at nursery school, it's time for Kumi and Mema to show the others the results of today's jungle lesson. Just like human infants, these youngsters learn by observing and copying. While the youngest classmates, Boomy and Jackie, watch from the safety of the hammock, Mema demonstrates to her classmates her brand new skill. Genios is fascinated, while Uchup is happy to just watch. These nursery school littlies are learning an essential lesson today. But there's always one kid with a limited attention span. On Kaja Island, tension mounts as Rebecca loses consciousness. The team quickly maneuvers into position with a net to break her fall. Rebecca hangs on precariously, and one of her friends comes to investigate. They quickly check her for injury. But the net appears to have broken her fall perfectly. And drowsy Rebecca is quickly stowed aboard for her trip back to Menteng. She has 2 months of quarantine and health checks ahead. But if all goes well, she will then complete her journey to a new life in the wild. Rebecca is just the first of 18 orangutans chosen for release. And the team only has 2 days to capture them. Next, they relocate 3 kilometers upriver to Bangamat Island. This time they have an audience as they approach the riverbank. The Teknisi team recognizes Rutan, a 15-year-old female. She's had 11 years at jungle school and around 3 more on Bangamat Island. Now she's ready to fend for herself. Rutan keeps her distance, but all the expert sniper needs is a clear shot. Rutan pulls the dart out, but it's too late. The tranquilizer is already working, and she'll soon start to feel drowsy. The team must keep her in sight while they prepare for her inevitable fall. But as the drug takes full effect, things go horribly wrong. Rutan's arm is caught on a branch, leaving her suspended 40 meters above the ground. They have to get her down immediately, and there's only one way to do that. Fortunately, these guys are experts. Female orangutans reach only half the weight of adult males. But there's still about 40 kilograms of orangutan to get safely to the ground. A carefully tied harness bears her weight. Now, they need to get her out of the forest before she starts to wake up.
Awas jangan itu.
Two orangutans captured, 16 to go. Soon, the first boat is on its way back to Lanting with its precious cargo. With the school day done, the forest school groups gather for their final snack on the lawn. The macaque monkeys are back. They know this is peak hour for scavenging. One little macaque attracts 3-year-old Meryl's interest. She tries making friends with him. She's one of the most sociable orangutans in her class. It's the abundance of food here that makes these sorts of interspecies encounters possible. In the wild, it's all about competition for resources. More leisure time can lead to unusual friendships. Suddenly, Madara is getting all the attention from Meryl's new friend. But she has a trick to win him back. The macaque seems bemused. But a friendship is born. All the classes hang out together during afternoon playtime. 6-year-old Balian draws a crowd of youngsters impressed by his coconut opening technique. Once again, 3-year-old Meryl thinks he should share. Valentino finishes up his day in the sandbox and immediately snatches Malika's bamboo tube. He plays with it in exactly the same way a human kid would. Lazy Benny's too busy snacking to join in. Poor Malika makes the most of her sand. But maybe Valentino has a big heart after all. Now there are 2 sand toys. It's been a momentous day for Clara and baby Clarita. The mum has been holding her infant close all afternoon as they renew their bond. Clarita is exceptionally lucky. The fact that she has her mother gives her a huge advantage over the orphans here at jungle school. Clara plays with her baby just like a human mother would, leaving little doubt that this bond is as strong as ever, despite their dramatic ordeal. At Bungamat Island in the Rungan River, the capture team still has work to do before they lose light. They've just darted 15-year-old Stuart. Stuart's been at jungle school since he was orphaned as a 1-year-old. Now he too has a chance at living free in the wild. It's almost time to head back to base. But then, the eagle-eyed vet spies Rowo, a 15-year-old female also on the candidate list. But she doesn't stick around. So the sniper decides to follow her into the forest. And the vet scans the trees. Suddenly, all hell breaks loose. It's Kaspar, a huge 16-year-old male known for his aggression. The river is the only place Kaspar can't follow the men, as orangutans generally don't swim. But this 90-kilogram ape, with the strength of 7 men, now holds the riverbank.
Hey Love Nature fans, be sure to like and subscribe to catch all our wild animal stories. Get closer to nature right here on YouTube.